Welcome back. I am Shalina B, your go-to mom for family meals, routines, and self-care. And today we're going to have a little fireside chat because it is my birthday. I am officially 36 years old. I am a Libra. It is Libra season. So grab your favorite drink, your favorite snack, and learn a couple lessons from a Libra. So yes, I am officially 36, y'all. I am nearing my 40s, but it is okay because I am enjoying the ride. I'm not enjoying the back pains, the knee pains, all of those ailments. So that I have to get it together. But I am enjoying just living and being alive. And that is really my theme. My theme is the greatest gift, which is the gift of life. And if y'all have been following me, y'all know that I've talked about my hysterectomy that I had after I had my baby girl and how I didn't know if I was going to make it. So this is a full year since that has happened. So I'm not taking life for granted anymore. So it's time for me to live my life and live it to the fullest and just have an attitude for gratitude because I am so thankful to be alive. So today I just want to share some lessons that I've learned over time, things that I want to adopt, things that I want to stop doing as I approach a new year, as I continue on through the end of my 30s and into my 40s, things that I don't want to care about anymore. But yeah, I just want to have a little chat and hopefully there's something that you can learn as well. But it is Libra season. I am planning to celebrate all month long because that is what I do. It is definitely a time to celebrate, and I'm trying to make sure that I celebrate myself more because that's definitely something that I shy away, and I'm a person that loves to help and serve and give, but sometimes it's hard for me to accept help. So that is something that I really want to learn. So for today, I'm going to break it up in 5 categories. So before we get started, I said grab you a drink and a snack, and my drink of choice today is this XXL. It's a peach kind. My sister put me on this wine. I think it's like a Moscato wine. I'm really not a sweet wine drinker per se because it is 16% alcohol. I typically am a Prosecco champagne girl. I like some brown liquor every now and then, but she brought this and I was like, this is really good. And it was only $10. So this is what I'm going to have to toast for my birthday. So come toast with me. So like I was saying, what I want to talk about today is just some lessons that I've learned. And I have a couple, I've broken it up into 5 categories. And those categories are family, faith, friendship, marriage, and self. It may not be in that order, but those are just the categories that I want to touch on. Just some lessons that I've learned and things that I want to share with you. So let's get right into it. Let's get into self, okay? So like I said, well, first, cheers to me. Happy birthday to me. And thank you in advance for the birthday wishes. I'm going to go ahead and have a little sip. So cheers. It's really good. And I really love peach. I love a good peach drink. They used to have this restaurant called Hula Hands, and they closed it, and I'm so sad that they closed it. But they had the best Georgia peach Long Islands. Ooh. And it would definitely get you a little tipsy. But this is really good. I'm going to take another sip. Okay, so now we can get into it. So let's start with self. So the greatest gift is life for me right now. Coming off a full year of having a hysterectomy. Just new beginnings. I'm done having kids, obviously. So I'm really trying to get to know myself, work inward, heal, do all those things because now I'm starting to get my body back. I don't have to worry about conceiving anymore. I'm still nursing, but I'm nursing very sparingly. So it's not like I'm nursing around the clock, thankfully. But I told myself, if she wants to continue, what's the rush? Like, I don't have any reason why I can't continue. So, but then she can drink milk. We have stored breast milk. So it's not something that I have to do every day. So I've been getting to know myself more. I've been on this journey with just getting to know myself. I've been trying different styles, trying to find more edgy styles. In my last video, I talked about I cut my hair and all the different styles that I've been doing with that. So it's just been a time for exploration. And the one thing that I'm really trying to do with myself, and maybe this is my first lesson, is speak more positively about myself and brag on myself a little bit, because I feel like I grew up with a mindset that like you have to be humble, you can't brag, all those things. And I think that really like dimmed my light. So instead of me not being humble, it made me just dim my light. So I would never share good things that happened to me, because I was like, oh, I don't want to brag, I don't want to boast. Or I would share things and people would feel away because I shared things about myself. So I never said things. But I'm at the point now where I'm like, I've done enough great things and I am a great person. It's time for me to big myself up. So I'm celebrating myself. I am celebrating the fact that of who I am and how far I've come and the things that I've been able to accomplish. So sometimes we have to go back and think about, what have we accomplished? What are the things that we've done? And really think about how you measure the things that you've been able to accomplish. Because sometimes especially in the social media world, if you're not having 1 million some followers and making $1 million something, it can feel like you aren't progressing, that you aren't doing the thing. But the truth is, there are things that you are probably doing in your life that you are counting out, that are marvelous things, that are things that you didn't think that you would be able to do. So that is one thing that I want to take with me in this new year. This another year of life, is to really document all the things that I've been doing, because I can be an overachiever. I'm very ambitious. I like to get things done. I like to do all the things. And I think the negative, or the downfall of that, is I don't take the time to congratulate myself, celebrate myself on the things I'm doing. It's always on to the next. And that might be a millennial trait as well. But I have been starting to learn how to slow down, stop, and smell the roses, be still, and listen to what God has for me, so I can enjoy life a little bit more. I don't have to be so stressed. I don't have to be so worried and anxious about everything. So really just loving on myself more. I've loved on everybody. I've given so much love to my family, to my friends, my community, but it's time for me to love on me and do it unapologetically, have more of those boundaries, and knowing that boundaries are for me, they're not for everybody else. So if it upsets somebody else, sorry, not sorry, because I need to do what I need to do for me. So I think starting speaking positive to myself, and taking the time to really celebrate and think about the things and my wins that I do on a daily basis. Because being a stay-at-home mom, also, sometimes it's hard to notice the things that you do well, because I don't have a job outside the home. I don't have a boss telling me that, oh, you're promoted, here's a raise, you're doing a great job. My kids will tell me though, so that is sweet. But that is not, sometimes it's not the same measure. So I don't always know that I'm doing a good job in the areas that I'm doing. So I want to find my own way to measure and evaluate and set those benchmarks and goals for myself, so I know that, girl, you're doing a damn thing. And we're going to document that. We're going to celebrate that. And find people in your circle to celebrate that too. And that's another one. And I guess, what, I can segue to friends as well. And I might jump around a little bit. I'm trying to stick to one category, but I chose these categories because they all mesh together in my life, and they all make sense as far as my journey and the things that I've learned. But when it comes to friendships, as you are growing, as you are elevating, and you are finding yourself, you want to celebrate yourself, make sure that you have a circle that celebrates you as well. I wrote in my notes, be celebrated, go where you're celebrated, not tolerated. So people that have negative things to say when you say something positive about yourself, or their moods change when you speak positively about yourself, watch that. Because those nonverbals speak louder, speak so loud. So be aware when that happens. But you really want to solidify your circle. And I hear a lot about, like, in your late 30s and your 40s, you have your friends that will hold you down. And I feel like my circle is really evolved into that. And I'm so thankful for the people that I've met. And I'm going to talk about one specific friend that I met on the internet, y'all. And her name is Miss Tatiana, y'all. This girl, she is my girl, okay? This is my online bestie turn everything bestie. We met in a business programs called Mom to Mogul. Shout out to Jasmine. And I was searching. During the pandemic, I needed a outlet because we were all at home. Things were shut down, and I wanted to get online. I wanted to encourage and inspire because I knew like online was the buzz. That's what people were doing at the time. But I wanted to know how to navigate it in a way that made sense, that I could show up with value. I didn't want to just get online and just shoot the breeze. I wanted to really be intentional about how I showed up. So I joined the program, and then she had similar interests. She had her business at the time. I think she had a stationary business at the time. And she wanted to take it to the next level. So this program helped her take it to the next level and do very well. And we connected. It was a while in the program where we didn't really talk, but we followed each other. We would like support each other's content. But it came to a point where she slid in my DMs, y'all, and she was like, hey, do you want to be accountability partners? And I was like, yes. And I feel like it was divine because I had thought about a accountability partner like her, or a friend like her, and she kept coming to my mind. So when she reached out, I felt like it was perfect, and we clicked right away. We jumped on calls. I was organized. I came with a whole outline and agenda because that's how I show up. So we did a lot of business stuff in the beginning. We helped hold each other accountable. But naturally, if you have an accountability partner, you're talking regularly about business, real life is going to come up. So that real life started to overlap, and we couldn't really just focus on the business. So we would talk about family. We would talk about personal stuff, and we created a safe space for each other to be able to talk about these things, to where we knew there was no judgment, and we can go beyond just the walls of the business. And it really developed in a really, really beautiful relationship. And I think that was in 2021. So we have been friends since 2021, and it continues to blossom. We made it out the chat, y'all, and she came to visit me this summer in July. So it was such a great time. When I tell you, when she walked into the door, it felt like we had always been together. We had seen each other before this one time. Like, we didn't miss a beat. And I love that. Like, that's when you know the friendship is genuine, when ain't no time missing. She came right in and was like, hey, let me help with the kids, or she was playing with the kids and doing this and that. So it was no weird thing, like she had been there before. So it was such a blessing. We had such a great trip, and I'm just so thankful for her. And we were able to talk about things within our relationship. If something goes down, we're able to communicate effectively about how we feel, about what's going on, either if it's something going on with one of us two or our families, or say we go ghost for a while, we can come back and be like, hey, this is what's going on. I'm sorry I went ghost, but let's talk about it. So I think for me, having a non-judgmental safe space with a friend is so important. And we are both ambitious, go-getting, stay-at-home mompreneurs. We have a family. We're moms, we're wives. So we have a lot of things in common, and we both want to continue to excel. We want to continue to serve and do for our community. So we both get it. And I think having that, I've been talking a lot about being equally yoked. So you're equally yoked in your marriage, but you also should be equally yoked in friendships, that like-mindedness. So I really would say God really, and we pray for each other. That's another thing. Get you a friend that prays for you, because you need that covering. So our friendship just has been amazing, and I'm just so thankful for it. And it really serves as like a blueprint for other people that I may encounter, that if we develop into a friendship, I know the things that I will and won't accept in a friend. And obviously they don't have to be like Tatiana, but they have to have the characteristics of safety, of non-judgmental, of being accountable, of supporting, of loving unconditionally. I think that that is important in friendships, and I think that helps us grow, because we have to grow together. Just like in a marriage, you grow together. You have to grow together in friends as well. So it's been amazing, and I'm so appreciative of her. So if you're watching, girl, shout out to you. I love you, girl. I'm so glad that God brought us together, and I look forward to our friendship to continue to blossom and us doing amazing things in our business and continuing to be successful. I'm so excited. So that's just a little bit of a story about how I've created like adult friends, mom friends, and just to rewind it back a little bit. I pray for friendships like her. And like, obviously I have other people in my circle as well, but I just want to highlight that story because I've never met a friend on the internet in a program, and we talk every day. We voice memo every day. She's now come to visit me, and I have plans to go visit her. We live in totally different states. So when I tell you, it's not even a proximity thing, because sometimes, you'll become friends with people that are in proximity, and that's great, right? Because you need people of all different backgrounds, whatever, that you need for your circle. But to have someone that there was no connection, there was nothing, there was a program that brought you together, and now you become best of friends. I think that that is truly beautiful. But I would say that I pray for that. So if you are looking for adult friends, mom friends, whatever, to fulfill that friend void in your life, pray for it. Pray for what kind of friend you want, what kind of friend you need. What are the characteristics of that matters to you in a friendship? Is it safety? Is it communication? Is it accountability? Is it non-judgment? What is that like-mindedness or equally yoked feeling that you are looking for? Also, have standards and have expectations. There was a time where I would not. I told myself, I don't expect anything of my friends, and I would take what I can get, and I would take, if somebody was just like love bombing me so much, I would be like, oh, they want to be my friend, and I accept whatever, not realizing that some of those friends were just attracted to my light, and they wanted to dim my light, but they really didn't want to truly support me and continue to let my light shine. So be mindful of that. Be mindful of who's in your spaces, and think about that core, that circle. Everybody is not in that nucleus. There's a lot of different layers to that. So you may have some outer layers, some inner layers, and your innermost layer. So everybody has a place, but everybody may not be in this nucleus, in that tight inner circle, and that's okay. You can place people where they need to be, and that way you just know how to approach the friendship. That doesn't mean that you give any less to that friendship, but you know how to proceed with that particular person. Because I've fallen in a trap sometime where I give, and it wasn't reciprocated, and I think I was looking for them to give the exact same way I gave, and I had to circle back and dial it back and realize they're giving in the way that they give. And if I either have to accept what they're giving, or I have to change how I approach the relationship or the friendship, or have a conversation, whatever it is for that situation. So that way you don't get your feelings hurt, you're not having high expectations or no expectations, and no one ends up upset in the end. But obviously communication is always key in any situation. But those are just some of the things that I have learned over time with friendships. And I feel like, I have very close-knit friends. They're mutually beneficial, and you add value to each other. And I think you want to do that anyway. You want to add some value. It doesn't have to be the exact same value, but you want to add some type of value to each other, the value in which you can bring to the relationship, because you both deserve it. You deserve it to be mutually beneficial. We are adults now. And yeah, we can do bad all by ourselves, but if we're going to have friends that we're investing in, y'all both should show up with something. Another thing that I do every year for my birthday, I do like an annual friend inventory. And this is an outward and an inward inventory. I look at myself, seeing how I'm showing up for my friends. What could I do better? What maybe did I not do as great? What kind of conversations do I need to have? But I also evaluate who is around me. I would say this past year, I made a lot of more friendships locally. And because I was opening myself up to more people, I had to sit back and be like, hey, are these people good for me? Have they showed up for me? Are these people I want to continue to pursue a relationship with? Do I want to go deeper with them? Do I feel I can go deeper with them? So I think it's always a good thing to do a friend inventory. And it doesn't have to be a bad thing. It just gives you a point in time to really reflect and think about your circle, think about your support support system, and how they showed up. And if maybe you didn't show up as well, maybe you had a rough year, so you couldn't show up like you wanted to, but that's an opportunity to either have a conversation or just do better next time. So originally I was going to do parenting and family separate, but I'm going to combine those because basically they kind of interconnect with each other anyway. So the two lessons that I've had from this past year about family is leading with love and stewardship. And I talked about that in my last video, how after Elijah went to the hospital and it was very scary, leading with love was something that I wanted to do, that I was more patient, I was more kind, I was more understanding. Even when they were off the wall, I remain patient. And that's another reason why self-care is important, because you have to take care of yourself before you take care of your family. You have to make sure you connect, you ground yourself before you enter into the chaos sometime of the family situation, because you don't know. Our kids have big emotions. They're learning how to manage and control their emotions. So sometimes they may not be able to. So sometimes it may be very overwhelming. It's overstimulating. So leading with love really helps me to stay grounded and centered, so I can continue to give them the unconditional love that they deserve, so they can continue to regulate their emotions, because they are the kids, they are the child, and I want them to be able to grow up to be able to be adults that regulate their emotions, that don't fly off the handle, that know how to express themselves, that know how to communicate their needs when they need to. So leading with love was just something that has been life-changing, and I will continue to preach about, to talk about it and tell others about leading with love, because it's hard. Sometimes we aren't as patient. Sometimes we may fly off, but I do say sorry if I need to. If I feel like I was in the wrong, I would definitely apologize. But leading with love has definitely been something that I'm doing, and stewardship has been something that God has placed on my heart. There's a scripture about stewardship, being steward over little, and God will give you so you can be steward over a lot. I'll put the scripture here because I'm sure I'm botching it. But as much as I want more, and I want God to bless me and bless my family and bless me more abundantly, I want to make sure that I'm stewarding what I currently have. And in this current climate in this nation, there's a lot going on. So me getting my house in order has been important, and getting my house in order spiritually with my family, and just clearing out the clutter, because I feel like physical clutter is mental clutter. So it's been a lot of clutter. I still have stuff from when we moved here 2 years ago that I'm still trying to get rid of. And I feel like now that I'm through the kids and I'm slowly getting settled in this current weight, there's a lot of stuff I can get rid of. So I know that getting rid of the physical clutter and the mental clutter, getting spiritually connected to God, making sure my family is spiritually connected, has really been a path for me. This fall, I've been leading a small group at my church. It's a 10-week group called Rooted, and it has been amazing. I was a participant last cohort, and now I'm facilitating one of the groups, and it's been amazing and life-changing, and I've learned so much about my relationship with God and going deeper with God, and really understanding his purpose for us in the world is to steward over his creation, over his world as well. And that's a big task, but it helps me to really put things in perspective. He wants us to be more like Christ in the things that we do, because we are made in his image. So all those little things are really helping me be a better Christian, help me be a better child of God, and bringing that to my family to make sure that my family is spiritually sound, and that my family knows the Lord, and that we continue to pray together, and that we continue to steward our family so we can stay connected to God, because we don't know what's going on in this world. And we have 4 beautiful brown babies. So I just want to make sure I equip them spiritually. And I feel like if we're equipped spiritually, nothing can go wrong. So that leads us into faith. So again, as I mentioned, just so many things have been changing over this past year. Just really having faith, really trusting in God in all these situations, and especially being in this rooted small group, things have just been changing. And I realized I have to have the ultimate faith, and I have to surrender. And I thought in the past that I was surrendering, but when I thought about Jesus paying the ultimate price, dying on the cross, he surrendered in a way that probably none of us could imagine doing. I'm sure he didn't want to die. I'm sure he didn't want to suffer and go through all that pain, but God had something greater for him. God knew what was best in that time. And it's hard because we want to be in control. We want to do things our way, but the right way is God's way. And we have to really lean into that. So I am in my season of full and total surrender. And total surrender is no matter what the outcome is, I know it was God's will and I accept God's will. And that is so hard. But I am there because I realized that I've been pushing against so much in my life for so long and trying to force something else to happen, and things aren't happening in a way that are in alignment and are flowing. So when I'm with God, when I'm trusting him, when I'm having my faith and surrendering him, things flow. So that is a total surrender that I have never done before, but that is where I'm at. And as scary as it can be, I trust God. And I know that he is going to, I know it's his will and his perfect will over my life and my family's life. And I know he's going to protect and cover us. And I know that things are going to be well. So total surrender is where I'm at. Also, another thing that we talked about in the small groups is you are not alone. And I don't think I really understood, like, I know God is always with us, but just really understanding his love for us, his unconditional love for us, no matter what, and just all the things that he's done to have a relationship with us, it lets me know that I'm not alone. So all the times that I've wanted a friend to be there, or I wanted a parent to show up for me in the way that I thought they should have shown up, I'm never alone because I have God. God is my ultimate father. He's my friend. He is my confidant. He is there for me. And that gives me so much comfort and peace knowing that I can really totally depend on him. So that's been my revelation, and it's been amazing. And I've just appreciated it so much. And it gives me peace and comfort. Like I mentioned, somebody who struggles with like anxiety and worry, if I put my total trust in him, I don't have to worry about it because I'm not the one making the decisions. I'm not the one being in control. I relinquish that control to God, and I go to God and I seek him, and he will really direct my path and my footsteps. And the last lesson I learned in my marriage is to pray for God to help me to love the man that he blessed me with. I feel like my prayers were not generic, but I really want to be more specific in these next 10 years. Because me and my husband just celebrated 10 years of marriage. So again, go watch that catch-up vlog, the catch-up video. And I have clips of us in the Dominican Republic for our 10-year anniversary. But really making sure that I cover and I pray over who God gave me. Because we can pray like, oh, pray for my husband. I pray that he's well, all those things. But God blessed me with a very specific man. And this is a man like no other man. So the person that God created in his image is the person that he blessed me with for a reason. So I want to make sure that I am praying and covering the man that he gave me, and not a generic way, but a way where I know that it's going to bless him and it's going to keep him and it's going to help him elevate and do the things that he needs to do in the way that he needs to connect with God. So that was just something that I feel has really helped me to support my husband in a better way, because I may not always know how to support him. I may not know what he needs. My husband may not know how to articulate what he needs, but God knows. And God is able to tell me what to speak through me, or to tell me how I need to show up for my husband, how I need to support my husband, what will help take some of the load off of him, because he's an amazing provider. He does so much for our family. And sometimes I would show up and try to support him in the way that I think he needed to be supported, or the way that I felt that I might have wanted to be supported. But my prayers have been, help me to show up and pray and cover the man that you have blessed me with. So that alone has been an amazing lesson that I have learned. And I think that our relationship is just continuing to grow, continuing to deepen. I'm so thankful for him. Like, when I tell you that is my rock, that is they say your better half, that is definitely my one of flesh, all those things. And it continues to get better and better. And I'm just so thankful for him. And I'm so thankful for my marriage. And just continue to pray. I would say prayer really does change things, but you have to be open and willing to accept what's on the other side of that prayer. One of the lessons in our Rooted small groups was if you pray for patience, God's going to give you opportunities or put you in situations that test your patience or that makes you become more patient. So you got to think about that. You pray for this, but God going to put you in a situation to learn that thing. You're not just going to get handed patience to you, but he's going to put you in some situations that makes that happen. And sometimes it's a test. So we have to be aware. We have to open our spiritual ears, our eyes, and our heart to be able to receive some of those things from him. But overall, y'all, I just want to come really quick to have a little chat. I hope you enjoyed my little fireside chat in the back. My little wine. I hope you enjoyed your little drink or snack. Let me know down below what you enjoyed the most, what resonated with you the most. If you had a little drink and snack, what is your favorite drink, beverage? What is your favorite snack? If you like these type of fireside sit-down chats, I'll be happy to do more of them. But yeah, happy birthday to me. I just really wanted to just share what's been on my heart and what I've learned so far. But that is it, y'all. Make sure if you are not subscribed that you subscribe to my YouTube and all of the other social platforms. If you're not on the newsletter, join the newsletter. I've been getting back to sending regular emails out. So if you want more value and more information, or you just want to know what's going on, newsletter is where you need to be, because I definitely add a lot of value there, and you'll be the first to know what's coming next. So thank you for joining me again. I hope you enjoyed this fireside chat. Thank you in advance for the birthday wishes. I'm so excited for this next year. Oh, that's one last thing. In the past, I've always had birthday anxiety, that I would just think about all the bad things that have happened around my birthday, with certain friends, people who weren't there for me. But next year we're changing that, or we're starting this year, and next year is going to be different. For 37, I'm going to walk into it boldly, and I'm not going to feel this anxiety. And I feel like already things have changed, and it's going to be a great year. So I'm looking forward to it. If you're a Libra, again, let me know. Happy birthday to you if it is Libra season for you. And I'll catch you in the next one.